Let me get a mic check. Mic check real quick. Good to see y'all. Appreciate you guys coming in. All right, here we go. I think I got it right. All right, here we go. There it is. I don't know. Is it? I don't know if it's any good or not. It's kind of probably sucks. Nah, we're good. I think that audio is pretty good. All right, here we go. I don't know what happened. You know, it's such as life. You know, without bad luck, I'd have no damn luck. And that's just the kind of the story of our life the last couple months. But you know what? You know, it is what it is. We're gonna keep moving forward, and we don't give a shit because one day there ain't nowhere else but up. And we're gonna talk about some of that shit right here in this chat tonight. It's been a crazy last like 10, 11 days. Probably drove whatever you want to call it, 4,000 miles. We had 2 shows. I don't know how many laps I made in my white car, 8th mile, quarter mile. I don't know. Shit's broken, you know, not only on my cars, but on my body, on my damn foot. Yeah, we getting too old for this shit. I don't know, man. We're just gonna run it. We're just gonna run this shit until the wheels fall off. That's what I'm saying. You know, age is only a number, right? And money is only money, right? Yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, appreciate everybody for showing up tonight. We didn't get a live in last week because we legitimately hit the ground running from Ford Takeover straight to, you know, getting ready to fire it up for Holiday Ford Fest. So to give you guys kind of a quick synapse, being a Tremec sponsor, it is kind of mandatory that you make so many races. So we went to Sick on the Green in May, and then we went to, that was kind of an out of state. We went to Kentucky. That was a Tremec sponsored event. We went to Ford Takeover to, you know, hang out with Caleb and Nikia and see all my good, you know, my subscribers and have a good time. We were supposed to take the black car. We got to be we're gonna be updating you on that shit a little bit here in the chat, and we're also going to be talking about it this week. I don't know. I got like 7 videos to edit. Things are starting to kind of wind down for the season. We got one more Tremec points race in Ohio here that we're going to be racing at. We do have an outside chance of taking that box home that sits behind me and leaving it here and waffling it to put that money towards the program. And yeah, the ramen noodle money that we make here on YouTube, with that, we could actually get started on our coupe and get a little ahead of the game. But long story short, we got a lot of shit to talk about. And, you know, I know you guys are out there. I know some of you guys are struggling as much as I am, but you know what? Like I said, we're going to get through this shit one way or the other. You know, you're either going out of the storm or coming into one. And there's only one way but up from here on out. And I ain't worried about it. I'm going to shrug it off, and we're going to get through it. We'll have a good time. I'm going to bring the content here, good, bad, or indifferent. It is what it is. Anyways, let me get appreciate all my guys in chat. Jim Hill, Lucifer, good to see you. Mark, Anthony, Mark Turner, good to see you guys. Jim or Willie, yeah. We got about 40 in chat. Appreciate you guys. I know I'm a little bit late, but we just literally drove in from Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky, and that's 550 miles for me. Plus, we had a little extra side miles that we were doing on the way home. Picked up a couple parts that you know, because I can't stop buying shit. It is what it is. But yeah, it's been one hell of a last 11 days. Not complaining. You know, I would rather, you know, I always tell people that, you know, and I always talk about you can be with a busy man or babysit a broke one, right? So it's tough. You know, I'd rather be. I'm busy. I like to stay busy. You know, because busy's moving forward. And I like to be, you know, as motivating as I can to you guys, because, you know, I can't lead by example and not, you know, and tell you guys to do something that I'm not going to do. You know what I mean? So it's good to see everybody. You know, at Ford Takeover, I had a number of subscribers that I only get a chance to see them once a year. You know, friends like, you know, my friend Kent and Matt, and got to meet their buddy, just to name a few. You know, Caleb and Nakia, and you know, I got to see OG Superfly. I got to see Fox Chamber. There was a number of good, you know, subscribers, lots of members. You know, I got to see Shane, a lot of members that I got a chance to. I got a chance to race Real Teal, a good friend of mine, Heath. Neither one of us had very good passes at all, but it was really fun. It was door to door. Had a great race. We'll talk about that in the video. Got a chance to race my buddy Danny Hart with the twin turbo 427. You know, again, neither one of us had a very good pass, but it was fun to go door to door with him. We've been racing a lot, and it just hasn't been faring very well for us. And that's okay, because we're gonna get through it, and there's only one way up. You know, one way but up. It is what it is. We do have some issues with the black car, so I don't really know where I want to start with the chat. It's been a while since I've been on the you know. It feels like when I miss a week of live, it just sucks, because there's so much to talk about. Like you don't know where to start. And again, I want to know in chat if you guys are out in the garage banging some gears, wrenching on some shit, you know, got your shit on jack stands and you're getting it worked out, fixed up, whatever the hell you're doing. You know what I mean? I want to know what you guys. If you're sitting here listening to me on a jack stand church Sunday, I want to know what you're doing, man. I appreciate you. I love y'all. Trying to keep you motivated, trying to keep you in the garage, because you know what, garage is just like therapy. We talk about that all the time. You know, sometimes you just got to take a time out, man, from life, and sometimes it's best to just go into the garage, grab some wrenches, and start working on your shit. That's, you know, for some of y'all, that project car might be the excuse to get out the damn house, and I get it, I understand it. And you know what? That's when you pick up another project, because that way when you finish one, you always got one, so you got an excuse to go to the garage. I'll give you a little cheat code there, but you know, you might piss a couple of people off. But it's what it is. Garage is therapy, man. Just like the gym. You know, gym is therapy, and it is what it is. But as far as videos are concerned, I do apologize to y'all, because I haven't. It's not that I don't have content. I have a list of stuff. I was supposed to have a McLeod video out last week and the black car video with the vibrant mufflers, which we did mostly finish, but we have an issue, and we're gonna get caught up now. We don't have any events coming up outside of the no prep that we got finishing the season, and legitimately we're gonna start the coupe build this month. So we're not around. You know, white car is done its job. We've been talking about this for a long time, and we didn't get a good start in 25 and 24, 25. You guys remember, I didn't even start working on the coupe till like January. We're not doing that. I mean, as soon as I'm done with my no prep and the 11th of October, roughly mid-October, the car is going to be in pieces. I hate the fact that the car works so well, but it's just time to move on, bros. We got to go faster. It's plain and simple. You know, we have a number in mind. We have a mile an hour in mind, and we either hit it or we set it in the field and set it on fire. Not really, but you guys can understand the struggle. So if you guys need some help with tech, you guys can always know that I want to know what you're doing in the garage. And if you got a question or some shit like that you want to ask me, you know, I'm always try to be as good as I can in chat here. So it's going to be kind of difficult without a mouse to do a banner up and down spin the wheel of destiny bullshit. So we might just do a trivia for that. So we will be giving a banner away. We did get a whole boatload of merch from 417 Fox. So we do have a goal set here for the live stream for a free hat or free t-shirt. or you guys can go check out neomustangs.com. Appreciate you guys that do buy t-shirts. We got a number of unbranded stuff in there, especially Stick Shift Life shit. That's kind of unbranded stuff. It was really cool to give out some of that merch and sell some of that merch this last couple of weeks. And big shout out to 417 Fox, Michael Johnson, and Angela. Appreciate you guys. Love y'all for putting up with my shit. Anyway, Bowling Green Electrical Gremlins. Yes, I'm busy. I am a busy broke man. That's a good one, bro. What's up, Gabe? Good to see you, brother. David Smith, Zach Haskins in the house. Oh my God. Zach, man, just Zach from Hamlin. That's right. What's up? What's up, McBride Racing? Scott Powell, Lamar in the house. Yeah, 20 years, got that motor running. David Willis. I want to make a shout to David Willis too. If you guys remember that 408 we made 1,000 horsepower to that we took apart and rebuilt and put back together and sold it. He got that fired up this past weekend. Sounds pretty nasty. I'm pretty excited to see what Dave does with that. So, production block 351. Trying to tell you guys. Cheat code, man. Cheat code push rod, 1,000 horsepower. And then, you know, there's some good content out there that's being made now. And there's some content that we've made for years. It's just the proof's in the pudding. It is what it is. You know, I mean, Coyote outside of that, let's be honest. Yotes are bad bitches. I had to race a couple Fox Yotes this past weekend. Matter of fact, one put me in the trailer. And, you know, big shout to those guys that have been racing. I mean, my car been getting fast. I mean, we go 560s, 570s in that car. In the 8th mile, it's never been that fast. It's been the fastest it's ever been the past 2 months. And I can't get out of the first round. Like, you know, racing ducks, I'm the duck. And that's it, you know, and it's a struggle. But I'm going to run this shit until the wheels fall off. And I don't really, you know, I don't care about losing. Losing doesn't bother me. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I appreciate good competitive racing. That's what I want. I want a door-to-door loss or a door-to-door win. I don't want to win by comp buy. I don't want to pull a drawn buy. And I want to race people that are like-minded and enjoy the sport. When that shit ain't fun no more, I'll put a car cover over it. And I'm done with it. And I especially want to, you know, I know my man Hanlon is struggling right now. So I want to shout out to him. He's been chasing a little demon in his car that he can't get out, and he's just literally about to just put a car cover over it. But you know, we'll hope and pray that he gets that fixed out, because I mean, it ain't nothing more frustrating than doing and spending all these thousands of hours and thousands of dollars working on our shit, you know, to drop a washer in the hole. Or how many of y'all done that? I've had to fish shit out of my block using like butter knives because I couldn't get to it. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you that you just got to be patient. You know what I mean? This shit ain't for the weak-minded. You know, what we do in the garage is therapy. It's supposed to be peaceful, but you know damn well that it's not. It's frustrating as, you know, when you're not making the horsepower that you want to make, when you're not, you just want to throw the wrench at the wall. I mean, I got dings on my garage where I've thrown the wrench. I'm just so mad at the car. But you know what? It doesn't matter. You know, you're progressing. You know, you're going to figure it out. You know, sometimes you just got to walk away, come back the next day. I don't know how many times I walked out that damn door, came back the next day and knew what the hell. Sleeping in bed. Like literally just kind of staring at the wall like, son of a bitch, I forgot to hook that up. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, sometimes you need that stuff. You know, sometimes you just need that stuff. I see that shit, Brutal. I'll get to that. Sometimes you need that stuff to stay motivated. So, yeah. I ran 5 feet, son. Look what you did to me. So, just so everybody know, Brutal hit me with a stick. Look at my leg, man. I was beating him, and I treat him in a foot race, and he hit me with a rock or something, a stick, because all I heard was a pop, and I was mad, and he was laughing. So he cheats at foot racing. I'm just trying to tell you. So that's sometimes when you got demons, you just got to turn around and face them, and this past couple of weeks, bro, has been an absolute struggle for me. I haven't been out of town all year. Like, we went to Vegas with my son. He killed it out there. I love it. When the weightlifting, came right home and went to Motor City Fox Fest, and I was wearing my tiredness and exhaustion and whatever. So those at that show that see me like that, I was just tired. We still was 98% efficient, but we wasn't a 100. And I hate being like that. And the same thing happened to me at Ford Takeover last week. It's bullshit. I haven't been sick in a year, 2 years. I don't know what hit me, some sinus bullshit. Man, it's just life, man. It's just life trying to test you, trying to get you. It's the devil trying to tell you that you should turn around and go home. It's bullshit. It was such a hard weekend at Ford Takeover, and it ended up being one of the best weekends that I've had. And that show was absolutely on fire. Like, I don't know what y'all are doing. Like, it's just Jacob Lamb in the stick shift shootout was probably one of the highest paying and best shootouts that I had been at in a long time. And he worked his ass off on that all year long. So I want to make a very special shout to Jacob Lamb and Caleb Richards for coordinating that stick shift shootout. You guys know that was our baby for the first couple of years, but Jacob just took that to another atmosphere. He killed it. Absolutely killed it. And he did it with Tremec sponsors. He did it with the Parts Farm sponsors. So I want to make a shout to Parts Farm. Thank you guys for what you guys do. You can get Coyote swaps there. You can get engine swaps. They do a lot of stuff like that. Go check them out. If that's something, thepartsfarm.com, I think that's what it's called. I don't know if Jacob's listening or Caleb or whatever. I don't know if I'm doing it right or saying it right or whatever, but they put a bunch of money on the shootout. I mean, legitimately, I think each class was like $3,000 to win and like $2,000 to the runner-up, and then you still could win a transmission. I mean, what the hell? Can't get no better than that. We wanted to do some good little street racing in the black car at Ford Takeover, but we didn't get a chance to get that far because the day before Ford Takeover, of course, the demons was chasing me. I had to turn around and face them because there's some issues with the car that were unforeseen, and we're going to talk about that in the video. We might be having to pull the motor in worst case scenario, but I don't know if any of you guys have changed things with motor. I don't know if any of you guys dug into oil pans with the K member down, but we're about to do it old school like that out here on the channel because I think I can fix the motor. I got to dig into the heart of it, but I think I can fix the motor while it's still in the car. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. I've never done that before. I got some ideas and I got some really cool things. I've never done that before. And I know it's been done 1,000 times, but here on the channel, I've never done that before. Trying to fix the bottom end of a motor while the motor is still in the car. And I think some of you guys will get some of that useful information as well. So just don't foot race Brutal because he'll trip you and hit you with rocks. You weren't feeling the best Friday, but we had a great time, man. 100%. And like I say, I tried my best to, and I apologize to everybody. I hope I didn't get anybody sick. I don't think I did. I think I had, I had some sort of sinusy bullshit going on. And like I said, I work out every day and I eat really well. And it's like to be sick on that weekend was bullshit. It's crazy. And then we were done with the Ford Takeover. Like, this is the craziest shit. You're not gonna believe this. I have so many stories to tell you guys. It's ridiculous. Like, it's cool shit. I think it's cool shit because the best story I'm gonna tell you towards the end about Holly Ford Fest and my good friend Mike. Crazy. Like, this stuff just doesn't happen. Now, me and Brutal were walking to our cars, and a group of people, Zach and Andrew Hanlon and Caleb Richards, and we were all walking because the show was over, right? And Nakia challenged me to a foot race. He looked at me and says, "I got you." Peer pressure's the bitch. And touche, because I was a little bit of, I had a little pressure for Nakia earlier that day. So maybe this was just karma's a bitch. Because Nakia took his car down the track and, well, I'll let him explain the ordeal. I don't, if he hasn't already, but karma's a bitch. And like I said, I let him explain it. let's just say it wasn't. It was fun, and I'm gonna remember it. But we challenged me to a foot race, and I literally went 5 feet, and he hit me with a rock or something. I don't know what he did because he was laughing at me when I turned around. There's pictures. Yeah, it's out there. That's all right. I'm coming. I'm coming in 26 for that foot race, and this time, hopefully it doesn't put me in the hospital or some bullshit. I swear to God, I just don't get it. It's the funniest thing. I had a great time. It's stuff like that is the reason why I travel. It's the camaraderie. The camaraderie with my friends. It's exactly what happened that weekend with seeing all my my foxbody friends and all the subscribers and members, and I just was busy, and I loved it. I got to meet and talk to a bunch of people. I got a chance to hang out a little bit with Nakia and Caleb. Like I said, it's why I do it. You know what I mean? It's what we do, and it's wonderful. I wish you could do it, more than once a year, and you just can't. It's we're getting old, and we got shit to do, and just got to keep the train running. So, anyways, what's up, Jesse Workman? Good to see you, brother. Haven't seen you in a while. Of course, I haven't been online in a while. We had such a great time. Yeah. So, I can't tell you guys enough. Caleb moved the event to September. It wasn't hot. Tennessee wasn't hot. The track is actually really nice. The track was actually really nice. Whatever Dawn did to the track at Jackson, the launch pad was always decent. It would get greasy, but it's Tennessee, bruh. So from the shitty. I mean, Jackson was shitty for like 300 feet to the 660, and doesn't have a very good shutdown. So I hope they're going to clean that up a little bit. But the track is fast, man. I mean, there was a lot of 5-second passes. I mean, we went 70s on that track, and it had more in it. And it was just a lot of 5-second passes for stick shift cars. And if you can get a stick shift car to go 5 anything, it's not slow. Autos, I'm not going to knock on that shit. It's a little bit, I would say it was a little bit easier to get into the 5s, at least with an auto. But you start seeing a 5-second stick shift car, I don't care if it's 90s or 30s. You see something in 50s and 60s, and that's fast. Adam Buntley was he was printing 560 tickets all weekend. So his shit's just on fire. Same with Skylar Hardy. He was printing 880 tickets this past weekend. 880s in his street car. Got interior street car, true street car. Just printing the tickets. 880s, 880, 880, 880, 160, 158, 157, whatever. Proud of him, man. He's got that car on fire right now. Tony Pelotano earlier in the year got that car on fire. Cracker on fire. These cars have really, I mean, and these are the cars that I enjoy racing with. Real Teal, I enjoy racing with Heath and those guys. I love that shit, man. I like to race good competition. It just makes me better. It just makes me want to be faster, and it just gives me that that motivation to figure it out. Grab your wrenches and go figure it out. Neil was busting off 540s. I wasn't getting no 540s. What's up, Pee Wee Miller in the house? Trick Flow is in the house. It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. So we did get a chance. Speaking of which, with Trick Flow in the house, we did get a chance to see the 227s at the booth at Trick Flow. So we did get a chance to see Mark and Dave at Trick Flow. Didn't get a chance to put the car in the booth. We were a little bit busy racing and tuning and testing and stuff like that. But Trick Flow's done a lot for us on the channel. Those 227s are probably the best heads you can buy. The 170s we got over here are bad little bitches, and they just came back out with the 170s. So if you're looking for something a little entry level, that's what you're going to want to hit. I like this. I like the whole proprietary twisted wedge 11R design. I've always liked it. There's nothing wrong with AFRs. There's nothing wrong with other cylinder heads, other companies. But Trick Flow, I think, is just kind of a step above. I said what I said. I need to go to the track next year. Yeah, you should be on the track. I wish I could run 227s, but mine's inline, maybe 240s. Just listen, whatever you got to do to get a set of 227s, bro. High ports are badass bitches. I think that's what Mark Turner runs on his car. I don't know. I think he's in chat here. I know Mark Turner's a big Trick Flow. If I remember correctly, did you go to 220s, or are you still on the high ports? So anyway, that's what we got going on. You know, there's a bunch of shit to talk. I mean, where am I at on this damn thing? Where am I at? Where's the damn picture at? So Ford Takeover, we did a little hit in the street, kind of in Mexico. I'm not gonna say what was involved, but it was pretty cool. That's what we wanted to do on my black car, and I'm hoping next year that's where we're going to be at with the trick flow top end. We're actually going to change the intake. So on top of doing a little bit of surgery on the black car's motor, we're going to take the intake off and we're going to put the box R back on it. But trick flow is going to port match them to 227. So that's going to work out really well. I have the 9.5 deck trick flow box R, and I do believe those are being produced or production, or not in production, but they'll be available at some point by the end of the year, if I remember correctly. I'm not going to, don't hold me to that because I don't know what they're doing, but that intake will be available again very soon. They had the issue with the 8.2 deck for a long time, but you got 265 high ports. Good Lord. That's a big head. Anyways, I have the 351 intake. I want to put on the back on the 393. We're going to port match it to the 227s, and we think we can pull some more power and shit out of that stuff. So I have old school twisted wedge with epoxied and raised ports. Nice. Nice. Neo, I will take your 227 intake. No, they're going to port it to match because I'm going to take, are you talking about my carved intake? I don't know. I'll probably end up having to give that back. So Harold Pee-wee says the lowers will be ready as soon in the R series. So there you have it. That's the guy right there. That's the guy. So if anybody had any questions about trick flow, that's the guy. So he's the one in control of all that. Well, whatever. One of them. So he says what it is. And they'll be ready soon. I kind of figured it's kind of like, I think they did make some and it just sold out. Like there's so many people looking for that intake. It's just, that's kind of one of the bottlenecks with 351. It sucks is because the lower intake is just a bitch to get. And the only one that really, one of the more desired one, if not the most desired one, is the trick flow one. And the fact that it's a good problem to not have them on the shelves. I mean, that just means that many people, that sales are just through the roof with that. And that means it's just a good intake. It is what it is. We had to make new tooling at the new foundry. That's where I think they had a problem with, Trick Flow had a problem with the 8.2 deck, but they don't have that problem anymore. So you can get the box R 8.2 deck, 363, 302 box R, but the 9.5 deck is it's due. You get the upper. The uppers are shared between all the intakes, but for the most part for the R series. But the 351 is a little bit different. But my poor 302 ancient ports that pulled from the ARC. Let me tell you what, Gabe. I want to hear that sob shit because you one of the strongest stick shift grudge racers in the South. Period. You're a seasoned veteran, brother. You got the old school TEA trick flows busting everybody's ass with it with like 7 stages of nitrous. You got a CO2 bottle. You got a CO2 bottle looks like a nitrous bottle. You just say it's CO2. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just giving you props, brother. I'm just giving you props. Hell, I'm running Procom 210s on the Calypso. I mean, they work. Hell yeah, they work. We got to get you into some 227s, bro. That's a big ass head. That's just a monster head. It's a good head. You got all of it right there. Great seeing you, bro. Hey, let me tell you what. Jesse did really well. Got him some money at Ford Takeover. I'm proud of him. He's got that car moving. Hell yes. Can we toss an N113 Anderson cam in the black car? Man, I got the man cam, bro. I got the stage 5 in that, son. Hey, so I did get the Vibrant video shot, pimp, just so you know. And I almost feel bad because, I got to be fair about it when we take them off. Like, we're not taking the Vibrants off until the car's fixed. Because I am gonna bring the Vibrant video out with chopping all over the place with the man cam and the trick low 227s and the 393. this is before we had to go under surgery. So we do have most of that video. We're going to bring it out anyways, and then I'm going to explain what the hell happened in a previous video. But got a lot of work to do on my YouTube, fellas. And we just got to start with one video and then go to the next. I'm not going to go day by day because then I'm just going to run, it's just going to run in succession. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to we'll get this stuff done in the next couple of weeks and get all this stuff caught up and move forward. But Anderson B cam, small street roller cam and low compression. So yeah, where the hell's my picture at? So Ford Takeover, like I said, was a really good video or a really good venue. Maybe we can get Trick Flow there next year. That would be really cool. I mean, you're in chat, Pee Wee. I'd like to see maybe at least come down and check it out. Have a little. I don't know if you guys go. Well, you went to the Holly Fest, so I don't know if they can. I don't know about maybe bringing the trailer, maybe not. I don't know. I think they would do well. I think it's pretty cool. We had UPR there, Amp EFI, which is I think that's old Micro Squirt. We had Handler Motorsports was in the house. Tremec sponsored the event, but they weren't there with the trailer. What other vendors were there? There was a number of vendors there. There was this one vendor that was making like caricature pictures of your car. I think it was a gentleman or a little setup, something Maverick. I don't remember. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I guess they were really cool. Like pictures, like Lamar makes them in wood. Like big shout to Lamar Richardson and his skill being able to, he carves. I got Dad's car and you guys seen it on the channel. He did one for Brutal and Caleb and I think pretty much all of us. Yeah, but come down where I was answering a question. Ford Takeover. I think that's I mean, if we get an opportunity, I'll talk to you offline about it, but I think that would be really cool. UPR was there. Who else was there? Neo, I'll send you my address for those vibrant ships. This guy. Listen, straight through mufflers definitely sound different than chamber. But they're definitely nasty. Hey, Neo, when you made 800, was it AFR B31 cam or HR? It's just a regular B31. You're talking about the what was in the 363 when we made 800? Yeah. All right, Jesse, man. I'll see you soon, brother. I'm sorry I've been late. I won't be late on live next week. I promise you guys. We're going to be actually literally 7:30-ish, 8 o'clock. I mean, you're starting these live streams at 9:15 kind of kicks into some people's days, and I apologize. Jesse, I apologize, bro, for sure. But vibrant video, 10K views in the first 3 hours, maybe. A set of heads for the winner. To where? Oh, speaking of which, before I move on to the next subject, we're going to talk about Holly Fest. As a matter of fact, we'll just talk about yeah, Holly Fest. I don't even know what I was going to say. Been a long day. I'll figure it out. Hey, what's a good cam for a street strip 408? NA, Anderson cam, Trick Flow cam. Trick Flow probably has I'd say stage 3, stage 4, stage 5 at least. Like I said, there's some good custom cams out there. It depends if you're a shaft rocker or shaft system, or if you're running a hydraulic. If you're going to run a 408, guys, one thing that I would recommend, I'm really a big fan of the short travel lifters. Trick Flow, I think has a set. I think Morel has a good set that we've used. We still use them. And Johnson, we've had a set of Johnsons. So if you're building a motor and you're trying to get into, I really like the limited travel stuff. I really do like them. To give you to tell you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, your hydraulic roller lifter in your factory motor has about 125, 130 thousandths like an oil. It's like a plunger, and it's got room to adjust. It's got room to move, whatever. What a nice solid roller does, or excuse me, what a nice limited travel does, it's only got about 25 to 30 thou ish. So there's still a little bit of room to move there. but usually under wide open throttle, it almost acts like a cheater solid roller lifter without being a solid roller lifter. You get into your solid rollers, then you're getting into a shaft system. You have to, you know, it's a lot of money. You know, it's probably the best thing to do, but you know, there are adjustments and there are maintenance schedules that you got to keep up with. You know, the nice thing about hydraulic stuff is you kind of just set it and forget it ish. Whereas like solid roller stuff, you're gonna kind of want to keep an eye on that stuff. You know, checking. You know, it could be 15 thou, it could be 20 thou, whatever. Maybe checking lash because the solid rollers don't move. You know, they don't have any plunger. It's just a solid roller. It is what it is. Neo's late because he what? Yeah, okay. They go solid at higher RPM. I do believe you're right. Do you have an oil pan suggestion for a 351 408? It don't matter. It's going to leak. So we put there was a Y-in. I'm not going to even knock these. It is what it is. Every oil pan that I've owned, regardless of company, because I'm not even going to name drop any companies, they just leaked. Maybe it's my fault. I don't know why it would be, but one way to fix the oil pans that you run is to just to have some right stuff available. That gray right stuff gasket maker. I'm trying to tell you. You know, you coat your oil pan with some right stuff, the shit won't leak again. I run solid roller with stud rockers with girdles shifted at 75. Lash doesn't move on mine. It is good to check them though. You know, I've seen a lot of people that's just had nightmare of issues with shaft rockers, but true story on the leak, that's for sure. They like to leak. I'm running Dynamax Ultra Muffler. Sorry, I got to catch up. In 3-inch. I may switch back to Mac 3. I'm going to go back to the FPs. I'm not going to lie to you. I really did like the sound of the FPs. Like the Max and the FPs were so close, but the FPs had more of an artillery shell number to it. Now, let me tell you, I lost like 19 horsepower. I'll throw that out there. I lost 19 horsepower running from straight throughs, aka through the X pipe with no chamber, to running you know, chambered mufflers. So you have to decide for yourself, and it's a real deal. Are you okay with losing 15 to 20 horsepower for sound on the street versus having that horsepower? Now, if you're at the track and it's a purposely built track car, you know, you're going to want to run dumps. You're going to want to run straight throughs. Harm's got a good one. You know what I mean? The Vibrant's got a good one. Borla's got a good one. You know, and you're going to want to run a 3-inch if you go through straight through. But I mean, you're going to sacrifice sound and the super choppy stuff. But you know, you'll get that horsepower back. So I guess it's all kind of a preference thing. And that's one thing we're going to address this week in the videos with the Vibrant before the 393 decided to take a dirt nap. You know, it's not that bad. You know, we got some pretty good sound out of it. So you're going to be able to see a little bit of a difference between a chamber and a straight through, at least on a kind of a higher compression, higher cam, you know, kind of a more of a radical 3-inch build. So it'll be kind of a nice little setup. That's what we're doing here. We're trying to do that shit for you guys so you guys can enjoy that stuff. You know, spending all our YouTube's money on mufflers. I don't give a shit. Lucifer, what did it make on the dyno? The Dino. 548. Shit. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Robin in blue. That's right. Borla XR1 tailpipes. I can't hear mine when I'm racing. Kind of sucks, but it's good when I drive. I got my 408 short block, and I've been thinking what best cam and lifters. Like I said, call up Pee Wee at Trick Flow. Just ask for Pee Wee. He'll take care of you. The guy's been in the business decades. Those guys over there at Trick Flow, you know, Corey's a genius, the CNC master himself. He's a good friend of mine. You know, Josh, Pee Wee, those guys, listen, customer service, super knowledgeable. They'll put you in the right where you need to go. So they will take care of you, brother. And I'm not talking about giving you free shit. I'm talking about they just, you know, if you're in a direction where you think you know, especially in a 408 build, 408 is probably the primo motor to put in a fox body. Just that stroked out 9.5 deck bullshit is the best in my opinion. The sound is worth the loss in horsepower. I love my car sound. So yeah, there's people like I'm the same way. Like the black car is a street car, right? It's a fat pig. It's 3,400 pounds with me in it. Like I'm not looking to make it a 2,600 pound race car, but I would like to make 500 wheel. And we just picked up the Gen 3 harness with MF Customs and Anderson Ford Motorsport, which is we run the Gen 2 one in the white car, and I've had zero issues with it. And what's the difference between a regular Holley Terminator X and a Gen 2, Gen 3? Well, the Gen 2, Gen 3 has got a bunch of Ford plugs that you can just plug right in. You blow an IAC out or a TPS out or whatever bullshit. You just put an old Fox body one in its place. You don't have to go buy a $200 Holley sensor. Second thing is they rewired some of the IAC stuff, and it power. I don't have any issues with the IAC. Like there was a kind of a shit show for a long time about Terminator X and IAC, but I mean, there's all kind of different systems out there. Apparently, this AMP EFI, or I think it's the old Micro Mega Squirt or something like that, supposed to be pretty good shit. So I don't know. I mean, we're already going coal near plug with the Dominator on the coupe. I'm not changing my direction there. I've already spent all the money on it, and we just spent all that money on the Gen 3 harness. So no, it's worth the money if you're looking to get a Terminator X. And for just trust Neo. I'm telling you. Finally recouped from the road trip. What's up, Shane? Do poly motor mounts sit higher than stock mounts? Kinda, and you'll rip them apart. I don't go for poly mounts much anymore. I just do solid mounts. I run Spintex on my 393. Yeah, your Spintex do sound very, very good. Made 509 with my mufflers and that monster on the street. That's plenty. It's plenty. I really wish we could have had a little bit more fun on the street down in Tennessee. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Little 4, 5, 6 cars, maybe kind of meet up in a parking lot in Mexico and just have a little bit of fun. I'd really like to. That's what I was kind of hoping to do this year in Tennessee, but it was kind of a shit show. Like I said, I'll show you guys more of what's going on. We'll figure it out. We're going to fix this old school wise. So, moving on, where we have Holley Fest. So Holley Fest this past weekend, let me tell you what, last 11 days, 4,000 miles roughly. I spent so much money. It's kind of tough because, we don't make a lot of money on YouTube to begin with. And I rely on that ramen noodle money to travel. And it's another reason why I do the waffles. And I'll talk about the waffle here in a second, but I'll do those on Facebook, on our Facebook page. And it just helps to kind of dampen the load, because hotels are $250 a night. Fuel is $400 one way, $300 one way, especially traveling with a trailer. And it's just like, it sucks sometimes. So the nice thing is we get, I like to go to a show. I get to spend time with my friends, and sometimes it's just, it's just overbearing because it's just the last 4,000 miles, the last 11 days have been absolutely crazy. It's been wonderful though, and it's been worth it, to say the least. But not complaining. I'm just saying. I'm broke. This stuff ain't cheap. And anyways, Holley Fest. We went to Holley Fest, represent Tremec on the Tremec team. We had 3 of the 4 Tremec guys there. We all did really well. Ended up racing Skylar Hardy in the first round, and he went 880s on me again. Almost broke out because they had a dumb breakout for the pro class, which is the pro class should not have a breakout. The only thing that should ever be that should ever have any sort of limit / breakout is your cage cert. At that point, that's safety. At that point, it's just like, hey, you have an 850 cert, you can't go any faster or whatever. Neo, when you gonna get that Coyote content? I think I need a Coyote Ranger swap. Listen, the Coyote is coming, bro. Coyotes is probably I legitimately almost bought a 2020 this past weekend. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. There was a 2020 Mustang at the track, runs nines, already had the suspension, had a, I don't know, had a bunch of shit in it, had a Whipple on it already, Yodi. So I think that's Gen 3. I don't know, right? I don't know. Bad bitch, high nines, black on black, black VMS wheels, it's like 18, 17s in the front. It was a nice stagger. The car just looked strong. Guy wanted 40K for it. And I legitimately, if that would have been a stick shift car, I'd have been talking some numbers with him. And I'd own me a 2020. And Brutal got me thinking about this damn car. I think he's got a 21. But there's also a class to race that in. You know, there's a Super Stang class. There's a 1010 Street Bandit class. There's a 10-0 stick shift class. So there's like 3 races during the year I could take that car and race it and have fun. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, having I've never owned a new Mustang before. I just finished paying off the old diesel. Well, it's not old, but I have a 21 diesel, which you guys seen. I'm telling you, man, I'm not getting the Coyote. The Coyote motor is a bad bitch, and I just seen it do work in James McCool's car this past weekend. He's got a single turbo. I think it's just a Gen 1, and that's a bad bitch, man. That's a bad bitch. But anyway, 20 and 15 and up are going, if you're going Mustang. Don't buy a 10R80 car unless you're going to roll race it. So I think the 10R80 car, I think the 10R80 is a badass transmission. I think it's probably the best automatic transmission. I know the 6R80 is a bad bitch too, but I don't know, man. Caleb's got me he'd be talking about this 10R80 shit, and I'm telling you, man, it's the cat's ass. That's what he told me. He's like, I'm trying to tell you. I got a chance to see Tremec's Racer's Edge, the SVT, the Lightning that they did for SEMA. Holy shit, is that truck fast? It's got the new DTS transmission in it, the stick shift transmission, the paddle shifter. I'm trying to tell you, it's got a Predator. I think Predator's what, 5.2. It's a GT 500 motor or some shit. They literally made Paul Walker's truck stupid fast on the street. I watched that truck. That truck is just fast. I was like taken back. Like, what the hell just happened? Like, it just, not that he was racing it, because he wasn't, but it's just, you know, the truck is just badass. You know, it just 800 horsepower. I mean, what do you expect from it? It's a bad piece of work. Y'all boys tripping. They ass. Who ass? You ain't subscribed anyways. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna need a car length almost 3,500. Don't let Neo win that Powerball, boy. I'll tell you, I'll have everything. Hey, if I won the lottery, there would be signs. I wouldn't change shit. I would just go pick up my Walmart order in my dragster. That's the only sign you'll see. You know, you might see me fly into my. You might see me fly over to go to Family Dollar or something. I don't know. That's what you would see. There would be signs. But anyways, Holly Ford Fest was really good. The stick shift thing went off really well. The Tremec thing went off really well. There was an obscene amount of money for a small shootout. I mean, these past 2 weeks with the stick shift stuff with Jacob Lamb at Ford Takeover, and you know, Mike Kidd and Tremec and McLeod and Bob Scheid at Holly Ford Fest. I mean, there was $25,000 worth of like total contingencies to be won and given out at these events. So you can see why I went through this stuff, because of course I didn't win shit, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. But yeah, there was a lot of good winners. A lot of people took some money you know, Adam Buntley, Mark Turner, Tim Matherly from the Coyotes all motor class won the transmission at Ford Takeover, just to name a few. You know what I mean? You know, Mike Niehaus won a Tremec T56 yesterday, won 1,000 cash on top of that. There's just stick shifts in a good spot, but we just need people to come out and enjoy it. And stick shifts obviously gotten faster. You know, no prep stuff we do here in Ohio is all 5-second cars, 1,000 horsepower plus cars. You know, we also have little contingencies for cars that just want to come out and enjoy it, like second chance races and stuff like that. Anyways, a lot of good stuff going on. But Holly Ford Fest was really, really good. It was really fun to be at. And, we went 880 at 159. A little more in it if we wanted to pull it out. I think it's got 70, 72 in it. Might be able to 860 the car, but like I said, I don't want to lean on it anymore. I want to just put that shit in the coupe. All right, brother. Appreciate you stopping in, Brutal. Holla at me tomorrow, bro. What's next for the 393? We're about to talk about that. It's okay. I use solid motor mount on my street car. I always use solid motor mounts. I wanted a T56 until I saw Brutal install his long tubes. I got enough problems. No doubt. Tim and Lisa Matherly grew up in my area. They moved to Georgia. It's a great family. It was a great win for him. He went. So how Jacob Lamb did it was he had a power adder class, the power adder class, and the all motor class, which it doesn't make any sense. There was so much money to be won. Like there was only 11 power adder cars and 7 all motor cars. Like Jacob should have legitimately had, for the prizes that he had set up, there should have been 25 to 30 cars. I mean, it didn't have to be elite outlaw cars, but I'm trying to tell you. I mean, it was a good track and it was fast and the weather was perfect. A little hot, but it was perfect. But yeah, so how he had it set up was he had about the same amount of money for each class, 3,000 and like 1,500 or 1,700 for the winner runner-up. So he had it nice and even there. And then McLeod gave a $1,500 gift certificate for a clutch setup, which is about what an RXT twin is. And Tremec gave a TKX. So the winner from each class raced each other on a 400 tree stagger, first to finish. And that was a really, really good race. Adam raced Tim Matherly. Tim Matherly won. I think they were door to door at the end. So he ended up winning the TKX. And I think Adam Buntley won the clutch. So that's how they divvied that out. It was really cool. It's a really good idea. So big shout out to Jacob Lehman once again. And then Tremec, we basically kind of did a little bit like that. Winner got $1,000 cash and a brand new T56 Magnum. So Mike Niehaus walked away with almost $5,000 worth of stuff. I even think Skylar Hardy got about $250. I don't know if he got $250 or not. I think there was a little bit of runner money there. And the 10-0 class, which is the new stick shift class for the FM3 / old NMRA shit, which had a bunch of cars in it. Yeah, they ended up winning the clutch cert again, which is like $1,500 and $1,000 cash. So big shout to Matt Fent, his first ever national like non-local event win. So he was pretty excited. He's always had his car really consistent and always stick shift the shit out of that car. So congratulations, Matt. So got to run. Work comes early. All right, Jimmer, I appreciate you, man. Anyways, moving on. So Holly Fest was a good time. You're not going to believe. So Mike Niehaus won the stick shift in. Wait till you see this video. You're not going to believe how. Like it had nothing to do with the track or the other guy who's racing Skylar in the finals. It had nothing to do with that. It was just the way. Let's just put it this way. Don't hate on them China parts. That's all I'm saying. I'm a swap meet guy. All right. And I don't want to take much credit for it because I didn't drive the car, but I can't keep my fingers out of the junkyard and out of swap meets. It is what it is. I like that shit. That's what we do, right? And there was this little turbo sitting on this little. There was a turbo kit sitting over in the swap meet, and let's just put it this way: Mike Niehaus blew a turbo. So it's a really cool story that I want to share with you guys here on the channel, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But don't hate on that cheap turbo shit. It'll do the work that needs to be done. It may not do it for as long as the good stuff does, but it did its job this weekend. I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy it. So that's a crazy story. I saw that shit sitting at the swap meet. So it's just it's the dumbest shit ever. Like I just have to show you guys. Y'all want to see what 1,500 horsepower looks on a China turbo? So he does have a little bit of oil coming through there, but I think that was all residue from where it was sitting for so long. But this is the turbo we found at the swap meet. So long story short, and I'm not going to ruin the story. Mike had decided to comp himself out, and he said, "I'm done with the racing for the weekend." But I knew where there sat a small turbo. It's the craziest shit ever. It's what stories are made of right there. I love it. Anyway, that's what Hollyfest happened. Tim, I appreciate the $10 super chat. Yeah, Mark, James, Lamar, I appreciate you guys on the stickers and super chat. We're gonna give away a hat and or t-shirt this weekend or tonight when we before we get off. So I appreciate you guys being part of that. Anyway, where are we at? We're out on the picture. So I'm trying to pull up bearings and ducts. So we think that in the black car, the day before we were getting ready to load it, and we just were finishing the vibrant muffler so I could edit it that weekend. And I've been noticing a little bit of a noise from my 393. And I thought it was just valve train. I didn't really care. I was like, all right, well, I just need to adjust some shit or whatever and be done with it. I don't know what happened, but you know, I went out there to make a hit right before I loaded it for Ford Takeover, which thank God I did. And it just started making a little bit more noise. And it just shut off. And I couldn't get it started again. And I said to myself, well, I better check the oil filter. I pulled listen, I'm sitting here on Wednesday night. I'm sick. I feel like shit. I want to take the black car to the show so I can show you guys. It chops trees down. It sounds really good. The motor's badass, whatever, right? But it's not running. And had I took it to Ford Takeover, it would have done it there. So I'm glad I looked at it. I spent all day Wednesday. We drained all the oil. And I don't know what it is about the oiling on these 351, on the 387 and 393 in the last, but maybe we checked all the bearing clearances. Maybe it's just it's a metallurgy thing. Maybe we ran it a little bit too tight. I pulled exactly 6.5, 7 quarts out of it. It wasn't low on oil. I looked at all the oil. I went through all the oil with a fine-tooth comb. There wasn't one sparkle in it. But I said, you know what? We need to take the oil filter off. We need to cut it open. And that's what we did. And we found a bunch of shit in it. So it wasn't catastrophic shit, but it was bad shit. And on top of that, the car's been running kind of shitty. I don't think it hasn't been running shitty. It's just, it has that blip in the tune that I talked about in another video. It needs stuff done to it. But now at this point, we just want to get it running again. It'll fire up, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not going to take a risk and spin a bearing or some shit like that. So I think what we're going to do, you know, bearings and ducts, you know, we'll talk about the ducts here in a second. I think we're going to do it old school. I think we're going to put it up on the lift, and I think we're just going to drop the K-member. I don't know if you guys ever done that. I guess Harbor Freight has this tool that you can, and I've always overlooked it, that you can hang the motor in the engine bay. So we're going to hang, I'm not pulling shit if I don't have to. I want to try to fix the motor from underneath. I think I know what bearing, if it's the same rod bearing that the 387 was, then that's the crank's problem, because that's the second time that crank has done that. And it did that to my buddy's 387 that built one before me. So what's going on with that crankshaft? Is it flexing? Is it just bad metal? You know, because that would be some shit. Maybe we need to put a Scat 9000 in it instead of running the cheap Eagle one. I don't know. Seems kind of odd. Motor was running like a sumbitch, and then all of a sudden I got noise. I took it to the track, and we didn't even make a clean pass. We didn't do any big burnouts. We were just revving it and having a little bit of street fun. Nothing obnoxious. Hey, can you tell they work good? So anyway, that's where we're at with the bearings. We're going to be doing some surgery on the black car. I don't think it's catastrophic. None of that shit got through the motor. We're going to try to fix it. These are common issues that you can fix. People fix rod and main bearings with motors in cars all the time. So we're going to do it here on the channel because I've never done that before. I've always pulled the motor and just done it on the stand or whatever. But yeah. So Yep, use the same tool K member to hold the motor. Yep. What all you got to do to make 351 Windsor 393? Listen, 393 is probably the best. Hold on a second. What do you say? How about an extra half thou on the bearings? That's exactly what I was telling them. So I think we're going to take whatever bearings, Chris, I'll come back to you real quick, Jimmy. Whatever bearings I have suspect of that I got to replace, we're going to emery cloth them and take a shoestring. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. And we're going to, polish up the best we can. And as long as it isn't super grooved, which I didn't see that much metal in the oil. I seen metal, and you'll see it in the video, but there's not enough to give a fuck. Excuse me, French. It's just it's enough to hot fix it and move on down the road. So we're gonna put H bearings back in it that was in it, X bearings maybe, I don't know, and we're gonna put an extra half thou in it. See what it does. Doesn't hurt to do it. I can do it right there on the motor while the motor's in the car. So what's it take to make a 393? Well, you can use your stock rods from a 351 Windsor, but you got a 30 over the block, and you got to buy a crankshaft. So a Scat 9000 and or an Eagle, the one I got in the actual car. I am definitely going to fix the 393. I'm not giving up on that shit. You're crazy. That thing is good. Old school polish job. Yep. Emery cloth. I would probably start with 800, go to like 1,000, go to like 1,500, clean it off real good, and put the bearing in. Whatever. People do that shit all the time. So it is what it is. We'll buy some coated ones with extra 5 thou or extra half thou in it. Whatever. It'll probably run like a son of a bitch. My friend Devin owns a Witch Doctor small tire car, and they will roll bearings in that car between rounds. Them some hustlers. See? King bearings, race bearings are the best that I found. Super Dave, I appreciate the $20 super chat. Get your ducks in a row. Yes. So, yeah. So as far as the ducks are concerned, I've been a first round duck. Now we'll talk more about the bearing in the video. You guys will get what you see where I'm coming from, because I got to get that fixed. The white car's not broken. We need to nut bolt check it real quick. Make sure I'm not going to die at the next race. And catch up with some videos this week, but we got to get this black car back up on the lift and hot fix it. I'm not sitting on this car not running for like 6 months. It's pissing me off right now just sitting there. So anyways, just can't put a 393 stroker crank. No, you need pistons, and you got a 30 over it. You can build a 387 with foxbody pistons, but then you gotta figure out the balancing sequence. Anyways, first round duck. We've been a first round duck for probably the last 2 months, and it kind of sucks. But I'm racing good people. We're racing, we lost first round of Tony Pelotano at Magnolia, Chris Markham at Stoplight. I mean, these guys are running, really good, close to PR, PB passes, just dialed in cars. I've lost first round of Skylar Hardy this past weekend in Ford Fest. He ended up going to the finals. Tony Pelotano ended up winning his event. Chris Markham ended up winning his event. Yeah, just some really, really good stick shift racing. Real Teal lost first round at Ford Takeover. Unfortunately, Heath didn't win the event. He had clutch issues, but he would have been one of the hitters. It just good racing, man. Good racing. I went to Wisconsin, lost first round. I mean, we just got to get that shit off our back, bro. Like, our white car has significantly got faster since 25 or 24, right? And it just seems like that's just what stick shift's at. It's like I'm not getting fast enough. So we're done after the rewind race, and we're getting right into the coupe build, which brings me into one of the other things that we're talking about on our thumbnail. Is the coupe build is now we're starting to pick at it right now to get back into the videos. So once the racing season's over, we get the black car back rolling again here in the next week or so. I mean, we're legitimately finishing the suspension on the black car as far as the K member is concerned. Because you remember, we got to order some different K-member A-arms. We need the spherical ones, not the bushing ones. So we got to flip that with Team Z real quick. But it's good times. Hey, we're building shit. We're trying to go faster. This is the rabbit hole. This is the shit I'm talking about. Like, it never ends. Like, you think you're in a good place. And then happiness is only the moment before you realize you need more happiness. Horsepower's You know, it's same thing with horsepower and cars. It's just it's never ending, and it's okay. You know, I mean, within reason. You shouldn't be maxing your credit cards out or putting your family in any sort of financial apparel or whatever. But you know, the garage should be your peace. The garage should, you know, the gym, the garage, taking a walk with the dog. You know, this is what I like to do. And you know, juggling social media with car guy shit. You know, I'm as real in front of you here as I am if you ever met me. I just kind of leave the F words out a little bit more on here. And it's a struggle, man. It's money, sucks, it's expensive. And to be honest with you, that's where the whole jack stand, get your shit out the jack stands came from. This whole Holly Fest thing with Mike Niehaus winning with the stick shift, that's the epitome of getting your shit up the jack stands. And that's going to be one of the coolest stories that I've said on the channel here. And you guys are going to have to watch that. But it's what I try to teach, man. I'm telling you. You know. Good night, everyone. Good night, Chris. You'll have some time soon. That's right. Hopefully you have better luck. Listen, I am definitely appreciative, Eric, if that's you. I got one of the coolest things that happened to me this past weekend, and I don't have the stuff downloaded on my phone or whatever, from my phone to my laptop yet, which I'm going to end up showing y'all. But one of the coolest things is I got to meet one of our subscribers, Eric Ellsworth, if I remember his name. And he's a retired Marine. And he came up to me and I took a picture with him. I'm going to put the picture up on social media tomorrow. And I appreciate you, man. That meant a lot to me. You know, he gave me his one of his soldier coins. I don't know if you guys know what those are, but you can earn these soldier coins when you're in the military. I got a handful of them myself. And you know, he came up and shook my hand and said, you know, I'll follow you. And we chatted for about 10 or 15 minutes. And mind you, this is at the end of the race, the end of the weekend. I'm tired. I'm ready to go get some coffee and eat something, go to sleep, right? But you know, it brightened up my day, man. I want you to know that really sometimes, you know, sometimes, you know, you never know. This is what being a good human's all about, because you never know, you know, the guy next to you or the woman next to you, the person next to you, you never know when they're barely keeping their shit together. And I always take, you know, I didn't win that day. I didn't feel like I did my best. It's been a shit show with, you know, the last 10 or 11 days, the last couple of months, just haven't been able to get out of the first round. I haven't been able, the car's fast and I test it and I test it and I fix it. It was just nice to be able to hear from somebody, hey man, it's going to be all right. I appreciate you. And I wanted to give you this. So sometimes, you know, you're winning, but you're not winning. You know what I mean? Sometimes the wins come in a different way. And, you know, I try to preach that to you guys, you know, look for the good in all, you know, be a good human, you know, do what you think is right. And, you know, try to be a good human, because you never know who's next to you barely trying to keep that shit together. And that made me feel, you know, I had a smile. I still got a smile on my face. It was really cool, man. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you took the time to do that for us. Challenge coins. Yep. Winning in life, my man. Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I got a good story. I got his email from his dad, still pinned in our email account. So I do want to tell that story. It's going to be a nice heartfelt video that I want to see. Yes, man. For sure, Kent. You never know, brother. Whatever you're going through, it doesn't matter if it's car guy shit, if it's life shit, whatever you guys are going through, I can 100% tell you, you're 100% forecasted to get through. And you just got to keep your head up. You got to put your head forward and go through the storm. You're either coming into one or you're going out of one. And it could be your car. Hanlon's in a storm right now with that dumbass coyote, will not listen to what he's got going on. So he's got a little shit going on himself. So you just have to persevere. You know what I mean? And that's why you just got to be patient. Exactly. You just got to be patient. You got to put your head down and just make it work. Make it happen. Because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what men's supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do. Right? All right. Let me give away a banner. I don't know if I can spin this shit. I'm going to try to plug this back in. Or not. No, I can't because. Okay. We got. We're going to give away a. What banner is this? Oh, sweet. So, Ram clutches is one of the clutches that Hanlon carries. So, if you guys are wanting this one, big thanks to Andrew Hanlon for giving me his stack of banners that he had at the shop. So, we're going to give away the Ram clutch. We do run the Ram clutch in Dad's car. I think it's the HDX, if I'm not mistaken. The Power Grip, excuse me. It's the I think it's the same thing. So we do run the Ram clutch in my dad's car. So it is a good clutch. I've always had good times with it. So let's go ahead and do shit. I don't even know. We should do trivia, but let's just go ahead. We'll figure it out. Let's just go ahead and hashtag Ram. So big thanks to Pat and Mike at Ram for giving that banner up to Hanlon Motorsports. Big shout out to Hanlon Motorsports for hooking us up with the banner. So if you win the banner, neomustangs@hotmail.com, and I'll make sure we get this sent out to you. Here's the email, and I'll go ahead and pin it here in a second, or favorite it. So we probably can still get it in here. Getting in late. What's cracking? What's going on, Bo, man? I appreciate you, Kent, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate the talk. Did Mike get your email about the shirt I won? Did you not get you did not get your shirt? Speaking of which, the last two banners we've given away, I have not got an email from either one of those guys. So we're just going to give them away again next week. I usually don't have that issue. I'm usually pretty transparent on how to get a hold of me, and I always check my my junk box too. You know what I mean? Got the coupe ready for its first drive. Went to register it. Found out the notary spelled my name wrong. Oh, that sucks. Got to wait for the new title. It was a good talk. Took the time to talk. I knew. Hey man, I appreciate you, brother. Once again, sorry, I'm trying to catch back up with some of these. He gave me one of his challenge coins. Neo, after these 393 problems, you may end up with a Coyote in the black coupe. They're honestly more trouble-free in the long run if you're racing. Well, I'm telling you, man, we could put if the Coyote goes in anything, it'll probably go in the white car. Let's be honest. We're going to put the 363 with twin turbos in the black car because the Trick Flow 66 chambers are going on that. So we want to go. The goal next year is to be 830s, 840s, 850s, sub, 880s is the absolute. 820s, 830s. We want to be out of our cage cert, but not in another level of it. That's the goal. I mean, that's a really big goal, but I'd like to go to a race and go 850s off trailer, 550s all day. Kind of where Adam Buntley is with his car right now. Just get it dialed in like he did, but just be a little bit faster. Have a little bit more on the scramble or in the tune, not leaning on it. I'm almost positive we can get there with the 227s and two turbos. I mean, we're already at 1,000 there, which is one single turbo in a car that's not very optimized. So 393 problems, we'll figure it out. You know what? It is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to do this giveaway. I don't have my. Here, let's switch this back over. Let's see if I can get this to work. Let's see if I can get this to work. It might. It might switch audios again. Let's see here. We still good? Let me hear. Yep, there we go. Okay. It just keeps giving me an error. I don't know. I got this USB extender thing over here, and it's just dumb. It's about time I added some jet to the plate. When I see 569, it's time to step up the nitros. I haven't pushed mine hard yet. Yeah, I've been leaning on the white car pretty good to go 60s, but you know, the coupe's going to be. I have expectations, and if we don't meet them, we're not racing. You know, that's just the way it is. The car's 500 pounds lighter than the white car, so just transplanting all the parts over will do what it needs to do. But are you still going to try the Cleaver build? Yes. That's kind of a build that happens at the machine shop, and we're going to engine dyno it. Like that's it. Like Dave, that's just a fun build that we're going to do with Dave, and it's going to be mostly him. You know what I mean? Just working on it. So it's going to take some time, but I haven't given up on that. That would be dope. That's where I think we can, you know, less weight, just like Mike McCoy always told me. He's like, less weight is free horsepower. And he's not wrong. I don't have to make 1,500 horsepower to run sevens if I wanted to, but I'm not trying to run sevens. I don't care. I would like to, you know, I want to be right at my kid. I think 850s is a great class. It's a great number to run. It's kind of, you know, it's in the middle at the higher end of where a lot of stick shift is at right now, especially in no prep. And yeah, I mean, it's no prep is such a great way to race because it's really how you drive your car, how you know your car, and how you can make adjustments. And it's not just, you know, let's wick it up and go to a radial prep. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's got its own different settings. But you know, if you can get your car to work right on a radial prep, then that's, you know, that's for radial prep. It's not for new, you know, no prep. But no prep, the surface is the equalizer. So you have to change shit up pretty often. Like the back half, we're gonna have to change up the suspension pretty, add a bunch of weight and change things on the white car just to get it to go down. So I put the 95 Mustang 351 turbo build started, but it needs a bad. It's got a mega squirt PNP in it. Did you, is it that a self-learning system, or what do you expect in a notched away? 2,800 with me in it, but it's still going to look like a true street car. I'm still going to have an interior, door panels, dash. It's just going to be pretty lightweight. We're going to probably have, it's probably going to be 3,000 pounds with me in it because I'm probably going to have 200 in the back, just so I can get that weight bias. I'm trying to put that shit on a bumper. Maybe. Yeah. So here we go. Let me get this Ram thing done. All right, here we go. Brian Dickerson. Congratulations, brother. Ram clutch. So, Brian, the clutch is, or not clutch, the Ram, Neomustangs@hotmail.com. Send me an email and I'll pin it and I will send it to your address. Send me a picture of your car. Let me post that up. So congratulations, Brian. Good job. We do have a t-shirt to give away because we made the we made the goal, the money, and the goal money, whatever, here in chat. So Matt Wright, make sure you send me another email and I'll get with Mike about it. And we'll talk more offline. I'll take a clutch too. Yeah, I bet. Okay, so we're fixing Dad's car. We'll talk about Dad's car next week. That's going to be, let's get caught up on what we have. I mean, I got old video stuff that I got to put up. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope I get, you know, take 30 seconds. It's like 30 seconds for YouTube. So if it's not really something you're interested in, you know, give me 30 seconds of your time, get a view in it, give me a thumbs up. We'll keep working. But coupe build, we'll talk more about that next week as well as we get closer to it. We'll talk about Dad's car next week. 4,000 miles we talked about. Bearings and ducts, Hollyfest, Ford Takeover, and we have a t-shirt to give away. Hat or t-shirt. So if you win the hat or t-shirt, same thing. Email me. Let me know what you want so I can forward it to Mike 417 Fox and have it shipped out to you. Make sure you all buy a little gold and silver. Why is it up right now? I spent more money at FTO on shirts than anything else. Which color? Hey, what color shirts? What color black shirts did you get? I'm being a smartass. That's called supporting the vendors. It's a good thing. You're right. Appreciate you. So anyways, we're going to do a trivia for the hat t-shirt. We'll do something a little bit different. I'm going to try to think of a really kind of not so hard question, but something that's not too bad. So we'll make it easy. No, we won't. I did the brand turbo on the black car. Hold on. I got to think of a good one. Okay, let's really see how somebody's paying attention. On Pop's car. Okay. Okay. We're going back. Dad's car. When we changed the supercharger to the turbo, what brand FMU did we use, and what pound injectors did we use for the turbo kit? Yes, when it was speed density, or yeah, it's not speed density now, it's mass air. But when we first put the turbo in, what brand FMU did we put in there, and what injector did it match? Blue car, Dad's car, when it first was turbo. There it is. Vortex in 24. Good job. Congratulations, Kent. It was a Vortex. So I did, since I said that question, I do want to make a special thanks to my man Donnie B over at Anderson Ford Motorsport. He actually gave me that Ford Tech FMU for Dad's car. So he did donate that tier to the channel. I didn't sell it. I'm not giving it away. It's part of the kit. So big thanks to him. He gave me the disc set too. There's a disc set that can change the injectors. So here's a bonus. Kent won. Who got it first? On my screen, it was Kent. It was the Vortec FMU, and it was 24s. I think did Dave said it first? It's not on my screen. He didn't. Oh, never mind. He did. You know what? I'll give it to Kent too, brother. I don't care. I made the mistake. You both win. Both of you, did you say that? This thing scrolled quick. Or I'm just old and going blind. Congratulations, Dave. So send me an email. Let me know what hat or t-shirt you want from the site. Both of you guys, you and Kent. So we're gonna give away 2. It's fine. We're good, baby. I don't. It just went so fast. I didn't. He must have just. It must have scrolled and went. So, anyways, here's a bonus question. Let's see who's really paying attention. So on the channel, what disc did I have in the Vortec FMU for the 24s? Because I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but an FMU is a fuel management unit that requires no tuning. And what it does mechanically is it backs the fuel pressure up and forces the injectors to spray a larger volume of fuel into the cylinders. So 24s are 24 pounds. It literally makes 24s act like 30s. Does that make any sense? It's just kind of ups the injector duty, if that makes sense, mechanically using vacuum. So what disc did we have in there? Hey, Neil, I appreciate you, man. You're encouraging me every time I watch your video. I appreciate you, brother. You're absolutely right. So what we did with the FMU Vortec, and this is one way you can cheat. This is your tech tip, kind of a little cheater thing. If you're entry level, you can use an FMU on a entry level stock 302 or an entry level build with a Vortec, whatever. What we did and what we figured out is 19-pound disc in the FMU worked well with a 24-pound injector on with more boost, with like 10 pounds of boost on a speed density system. So it's kind of like the cheap way of kind of tricking the dumping more fuel. Does it run rich? Yes. Do you have to change plugs a little bit more often? Absolutely. But will it run? Absolutely. Usually you can get away with about 7 or 8 pounds on a speed density system. Old school shit with the Vortec T trim or B trim or entry level P600B. You can make a little turbo kit. Like I just sold a cheap turbo kit for $800 that we found at the swap meet. You can get something like that and get your car running 400 horsepower pretty quick, 350 horsepower, whatever. And you can use 19s, you can use 24s. There's just ways that you don't need to go buy a Terminator X or a fancy tune, or you can just put a carburetor on it. But either way, I just wanted to share that because that was one of the questions that we had. And that's, in a nutshell, we supercharged my dad's car first with this motor, made 330 wheel with an FMU, a 19-pound disc inside the FMU, and 24-pound injectors through a speed density system. And then we put a turbo kit on it that we made from Amazon. This is all cool, old cool videos that we did a couple years ago. We built the turbo system that's on it now using mostly Amazon piping that we bought and some extra parts that we had laying around. And it ended up making like 380 wheel, 375 wheel with 24-pound injectors and 19-pound disc. So we found out with that build that the ceiling for 19-pound injectors is around 320, 330 horsepower, wheel horsepower, just so you guys know. 19-pound injectors should stay in your car if you're running an entry-level setup, GT40 stuff, entry-level heads, entry-level cam. You're not going to max a 19-pound injector out with that combo. A 302 fresh bottom end, an entry-level set of cylinder heads, which could be Trickle 170s, it could be AFR 165s, it could be GT40 shit. You're not going to max a 19 out. I know. I literally watched 19 run out of injector at around 330 wheel. And most of those types of builds aren't going to see that. They're going to see about 280 to 300 wheel. So a little tip of the trade, just from the shit that I know. FMU, cheap way to add fuel pressure and boost and smaller injectors. Yep. And CO2 regulator with dry nitrous ups fuel pressure on spray budgets. Man, I'll tell you what, you just you just gave them all the little secrets there about 20 years ago that we were using, Gabe. Shit. What about 120-pound injectors? Bro, if you can afford 120-pound injectors, you better go buy yourself a fuel management system. Come on. But, yeah, man, I appreciate you guys tonight, man. Big shout to, big thanks to, Shelby County, Lucifer, James, Lamar, Timmy Two Wires, and Super Dave for the merch goal that we had going on. And, big shout to Brian for the Ram. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm tired of trying to get it in. Brian with the Ram banner. Make sure you guys go to neomustangs@hotmail.com. Super Dave and Shelby for the hat merch, whatever, the merch stuff that we're giving away. So pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Anyway, where we at? Where the hell did I go? Oh. Just got into a dispute with some youth on football about 19-pound injectors being good for 320. These kids want to argue like they know something. Listen, injectors don't make more horsepower. They never did. They just, when it's time to make more horsepower, they just put the proper fueling in. 19-pound injectors will not cap at 320, 330, right about where Pimp was just talking about. 24s cap at around 370. We capped them out too. 42s, listen, just skip it. If you go from 19-pound injectors, just go right to 42s if you're tuning. Just go right to 42s, because whatever you got 19s on probably is not going to make more horsepower that's going to cap 42s out. Tell me I'm wrong. You see what I mean? And once you're done with 42s, go right to 80s. Like, just make the jump. Stop buying injectors in between all that shit. 24s, the only time 24s should be ran is when you got an X3Z computer that's calibrated to 24s. Like, you can use them if you got them just because you have them, fine. But don't go out there and buy them because they don't make more horsepower. They won't support much more horsepower than your standard 19. Now, listen, let me make another caveat to that. The 19-pound injectors that are in an Explorer, if you can get them and buy them and clean them and fix them, they're a better, far superior injector than that fatty bullshit that they came out in the end of the 80s and 90s. Those injectors that you have on your stock Mustang will clog eventually or start running out. You can fix them, you can clean them, whatever, but they're one spray. If you can get the newer style 96 to 01 GT40, it's one of the many things on an Explorer that come wonderful. If you can get 19-pound injectors on a GT40 cylinder head intake, get the injectors. If they're yellow, leave them in there and clean them and use them. So just saying. Anyways, Project Hot Wheels was great. Was the GOAT. Sonic Blue paint. I'm telling you, brother. 120 is a rich man injectors. If we're reminiscing, Hot Wheels was I'm telling you, man, Hot Wheels was my car. Hot Wheels was an accident. Like that car was not an accident, but we weren't supposed to do that shit to that car, but it ended up being really cool. Man, something like that'll work. I'll stay with my jet kits. Anyways, all right, guys, that's pretty much all I got for tonight. It's 10:45. I'm exhausted. I've been traveling all damn day. You guys motivate me to come on live and talk some car guy shit with some car guy friends, man. I wouldn't do this stuff if you guys weren't here. And I love y'all. I appreciate you guys for what you do for us here on the channel. Once again, congratulations to the winners. Again, sometimes winning ain't winning. There's several times in this past few months that I've completely shit the brick on racing and not been good content guy with you guys here on the channel. But, sometimes it's the little things that mean the most, and I do appreciate those people these past couple of weeks that's came up to me and the subscribers and followers. I've talked to hundreds of people and said, said the good things about what, about our channel and following us. So, just taking a moment to say hello and acknowledging that stuff. So that shit's what it's all about. But anyways, we got about 7 videos. I'm telling you, they're coming. I keep talking shit, but we got time now. I got no excuse. I almost got the one done for tomorrow. I'm probably going to put one out for tomorrow or go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday this week. We got to get caught up on the black car because I'm going to get right into it. So I love y'all. I appreciate everybody who's, at Ford Takeover and Holly Fest that came up to me. Keep hitting that thumbs up. Keep checking them views. We're also on Facebook. We got 2 waffles coming up this month, TKX T56 and we're doing a trick flow waffle. So something you guys are going to want to pay attention to if you're interested in a top end kit, entry level or trick flow 227. So I got the thumbs up to do the waffle, and that's what's coming up next. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Stay safe this week. I will 100% see you next Sunday. And I apologize for missing last week. It's been one hell of a ride, and we'll continue. I'll show you some more footage next week of my escapades. So love y'all. See you soon. Have a good week.